Would you take $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z?
Man, give me $500,000. Fuck Jay-Z. Yeah, man. Yeah, nigga, give me $500,000. Nigga, I don't want. Who want to take a sit down with Jay-Z over $500,000?
Whoa.
You'd be surprised.
It's some people say they want to sit on his lap then.
Oh my God,
jump
bro.
on his.
So in case you've been sitting under a rock for the last couple of weeks, the entire debate that's been going on for the last few years of whether it's smarter to have lunch with Jay-Z or take $500K is back in action. But this time's a little bit different because we actually got Jay-Z's own opinion of whether or not he would actually have lunch with himself or take the $500K. He sat down with Gayle King of CBS for an interview where he gave us his answer.
There's something interesting online, Jay. I'd love to hear what you think about this. If you had a choice between getting paid $500,000 in cash or lunch with Jay-Z,
Yeah.
which would you choose?
You gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say? Yeah, I mean everything that I'm gonna say.
No, only because people say, of course you take lunch with Jay-Z because the wisdom that you would get from him would be so beneficial to you. There would only be a matter. You would take the money.
Yeah, because you got all that in the music for $10.99. That's a bad deal. I wouldn't tell you to cut a bad deal. Like
I don't
take
know.
the $500,000. Go buy some albums and listen to the albums. It's all.
Okay, so that's terrible advice. And I don't know what Jay-Z's talking about. I don't know if he's being humble. I don't know if he's just kind of sidestepping the question. But the reality is I've always kind of posed this question a different way, and I wish it would have come out differently on social media. The way I like to pose this question is, would you take $500,000 or would you take Jay-Z's phone number in which you could get a 5-minute phone call with him once a month to run scenarios by him and get his opinion on what he thinks you should do or should not do in this particular scenario? The reason why I would pose this question that way is because the access to a person when you have a problem, a particular problem, is more important than just getting them in a 2-hour dinner or lunch or whatever you want to call it and just letting them ramble on and on about things that might not apply to you. You see, his brain can work situationally very well. His experience, his resources, his perspective or point of view. All of these things are different. And let me tell you why I know this for fact. So I have some contacts that are very, very high powered, extremely rich. Now, I don't just talk to these people, just shoot the shit conversation. But what I will do is I will give them a call. These are my mentors. When I have a situation, if I'm dealing with something HR wise, or I'm dealing with something legally, or I'm dealing with something where I need to make a big move or make a decision that's going to possibly hurt me or help me immensely. The reason why I make this phone call is because I know I'm a smart dude. I know I think about things a certain way, but I also know that my brain doesn't see certain things that theirs may. And 100% of the time when I place this phone call, I come out with an aha moment, even after 3, 5, 10 minutes. That changes the entire trajectory of how I would have handled that situation and my view of situations overall that may appear in that same vein in the future. So will a lunch with Jay-Z really do that much for you? Not if you're not in a particular situation where you can apply the information he's giving you at that moment. I don't think so. So I think that Jay-Z's telling the truth. The $500K is more valuable. Although in this day and age, I don't know what the hell you do with $500,000 without knowledge and access to other resources, connections. You still need those things. They become far more important, which is the reason why shows like Shark Tank have become so popular. When you look at Shark Tank, a lot of times people will come in there and they'll already have all of the money. They'll be making tons of money. But what will happen is they will hit a ceiling. They will hit a wall that they can't get past, because it's not always about what you have in the form of finances, but it can be about who you know, who you can get to pick up the phone. And having a guy like this to be able to pick up the phone is invaluable. It's priceless.
Okay. If you piece it together and really listen to the music for the words, for what it is, it's all there. Everything that I said was going to happen.
I do love Jay-Z's music.
Everything that I said I wanted to do, I've done. And there's the blueprint. The blueprint literally to me and my life and my journey is,
I don't agree with that, though.
already.
I mean, what are you going to do? Sit down and listen to 15 albums, hoping to get an answer to a problem that you have or a solution to a problem that you have momentarily, and then try to hold all that information so that every other, situation you come across, you can apply that then? Oh, man, I love you, Jay-Z, but that was silly, bro. That's probably one of the first silly interview moments I've ever seen him have, and that's unfortunate for me as a fan. But Rick Ross had a different opinion on this. I came across another piece of content that actually showed that Rick Ross says otherwise. Says that a lunch with Jay-Z changed the entire trajectory of his career and his life moving forward.
Rose, on the other hand, begs to differ as he recounted how one dinner with Jay-Z made him more money and also helped his rap career. The rapper revealed that before the release of his Thriller album in 2008, he had dinner with Jay-Z at the Philip Chow in New York City, after which he made life-changing decisions. He said the Rock Nation boss instructed him to write songs for their intended impact as opposed to just rapping over beats that he liked. Rick Ross recalls cutting his workload in half and seeing his stock rise. The business mogul also helped on the album as well, which started off the fake Playback Music series, and Rose says his career catapulted to another level. So the next time you are asked if you would take $500,000 or a dinner with a celebrity, which would be your answer?
So, like I said, having access to this type of human being. Now, if you get to a point where you can actually sit down and have lunch with Jay-Z, this is not a fan to mogul experience. You're probably a friend, or at least an associate that he respects. As such, you can probably pick up the phone and make a phone call to him and say, hey, man, I've been running into a couple of situations and I don't really know how to move. What's your opinion on this? And I'm sure Rick didn't just sit down with a lunch with Jay-Z and Jay-Z just started giving him game. I'm sure they had a conversation in which Rick Ross came out and said, look, man, I'm getting ready to drop an album. I'm trying to figure out what direction to steer my music. I've been doing it this way and I'm not really seeing the results I want to see. And Jay-Z had to be familiar with Rick Ross and his music up to that point. So knowing where Rick had been and knowing where he himself had gone, he gave him information that he had used to propel his career to the next level. Guaranteed this wasn't just a situation where Jay-Z was just sitting down, giving all the game to Rick Ross. It's very specific. And I guarantee you that was not the last conversation they had, seeing as Jay-Z has been on several albums of Rick's ever since. So for me, the question has never been lunch with Jay-Z or $500K. The question has always been access to Jay-Z or $500K. I don't need Jay-Z's money. I need to be able to pick his brain when a situation arises. Like the old saying goes, it's not about what you have or what you know. It's more often about who you know. But now that we've got Rick Ross's opinion on his situational use of Jay-Z's knowledge, let's go take a look at Charleston White. Now, if you're not familiar with Charleston White, he is an internet character that has ruffled feathers on pretty much every level possible. But he has mastered the internet. Let's take a look at his opinion real quick.
Shit's been going viral for a minute, and I want to hear your opinion. Would you take $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z?
Man, give me $500,000. Fuck Jay-Z. Yeah, man. Yeah, nigga, give me $500,000. Man, I don't want. Who want to take a sit down with Jay-Z over $500,000?
Whoa.
You'd be surprised.
People say they want to sit on his lap then.
Oh my
They
God,
wanna jump
bro.
on his lap and talk to him like he's Santa Claus.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, tell me what you know, Jay-Z. No, nigga, I don't want to know a month. Give me that $500,000. I know what to do with this here now.
I can't even listen to this dude
I
without
know
rolling.
what to do. Fuck his conversation. Yeah, it worked for him. It might not work for me.
I agree.
Because people feel like he's a billionaire.
I agree with his point. I don't agree with how he said it, but I agree with his point. That lunch ain't gonna do much for nobody, man. Not many people, unless you're already in position. But damn, Charleston, you ain't got to do it like that, my G.
If Jay-Z gives me some of his advice and tells me how he got rich, I could be a billionaire too.
They should sit on his lap and ask him.
All right, we out of here. We done. Listen, you guys, I know this has been a fascinating topic for years, especially those among the hip-hop community who truly do honor and revere Jay-Z. As they should. He has definitely earned every bit of respect. And I don't care what your personal thoughts on him are. When you look at where he's ended up and where he came from, you got to give a man his props when it comes to his business savvy. You might not be a fan of his music. You might not be a fan of his personality, but you got to give him the respect. So if you guys like content like this, I'll go ahead and do more reaction videos as we move forward on more popular topics, especially including finance and credit. And as usual, I know you guys can go many places to get your information, but you're here with me. Be blessed.